Hey guys, Tim here. I know I haven't put on a video in a while. It is August 26th, 2021, out here at the South Yard, and hives are condensed, as you can see. I did pull all of the honey off my hives. It was rough here in the West, man. I know that you guys have probably seen it, and if you live here, you know what I'm talking about, but this year was rough as far as heat and drought and no rain. We finally got a little rain the other day. I see it's popping up a little bit more knapweed here in places. A few flowers around, but that's kind of junk flowers out there. The bees don't really hit whatever that is. Anyway, so we're out here at the South Yard. I did pull all the honey, and I'm condensing all of my hives right now, and they're jam-packed right now. They're jam-packed with summer bees right now, which they need, because I want all of my boxes full. And so I am feeding a little bit. I've got feeders on this little hive, and I've got feeders on these guys to build them up, and I've got feeders on at the North Yard too, but I didn't get a lot of honey, maybe 40 gallons this whole year, as opposed to like 120 last year. So that's kind of the big difference. Pulled it because everything else I want building up. So these all have to be full. Why are you leaving extra supers on there? Because I think it's going to be a hellacious winter up here. And so they're going to need more than just one box. I don't care if the queen lays up in there. I'll just replace the frames. It's no biggie for me to do. But we're out here today because we are, you can see what's on the top of your hives. Oh, it's Apivar. August 26th. Your queen is starting to lay her winter bees now. And so it's the most crucial time for your mite treatments. For me it is. So, yep, buy Apivar in the 50 pack, as you can see. The South Yard, the North Yard I put it on up there 2 weeks ago, but I've been so busy with work and football. As you guys know, maybe you don't, I coach football also for my son, assistant coach this year instead of head coaching, but it's just busy. I've got all the entrances necked down because this is what the time of year the robbing starts. This is the time of year the yellow jackets are trying to get in. This is also the time of year that it's getting cooler. I mean, it's high 40s to low 50s at night, and I mean, it's just 70 right now, and it's supposed to be 70 all week, so it turned really fast. I mean, from 90s, high 90s and hundreds into 70s during the day. Look at these girls groom. They just groom like crazy. They're such good bees. This is that swarm I caught. They're really progressing well. Nordman swarm, wild hive. Look at these girls chasing this wasp out of here. They said, get away from our stuff. They won't let them in. They're guarding really, really well. So they might be a little feisty today. So that's what we're doing. On top of that, putting the Apivar on, I will still treat, and I'm putting the Apivar on because I'm not going to use any of the honey that's on there. I will still treat every Saturday morning for the next month. I'm going to treat with oxalic acid. And you are asking, well, why do you need to? Well, because I like to double up. I don't want mites in my hives. There's always going to be mites. Your bee hives have mites in them. My hives have mites in them. There ain't I mean, unless you live like in New Zealand or somewhere, your hives have mites, and so you got to treat them. And so that's why I put the Apivar in now. I'll put it on again before I put them to bed in like the end of October. Before I wrap them up, I'll trade it out and put another round of Apivar in there. But I will still treat with oxalic acid too. I'll vape them every week for the next month and just really knock that mite load down. So that's my plan. That's what I'm doing. I'll stop filming here so I can crack some hives and let you see some bees. Okay, so I just cracked off the top cover of the Nordman swarm. This is what the top, just the top cover. This thing is jam-packed with bees. I still see drones there. But it's just ripping full of bees, which is fine. I don't care, because the thing of it is that they weren't even. I had supers on these things that they weren't even filling. One of the reasons I left this one on was because it had brood in it. Oh, they're not super full. There's a few bees in there. So I always just go like this. Knock all those bees off of there. And then I'll just set this on the side like this. So I still see empty frames in here. So what I'm going to do is just go through frames, see how they look. I'm really not going to go crazy, because there's nothing really that I need to look at. I know my queen's in there. I know everything's, she's laying good. But I'm just going to crack these boxes off of here and put my Apivar strips on. So, one of my colonies. I'll look to see how everybody looks, make sure that I don't see like a heavy mite load. And you're probably saying like, well, why don't you test? Like, why don't you do a mite check? I've got all my stuff with me, but do I need to? If I'm going to treat anyway, what's the sense of me? And this is just me speaking now. This is not you guys. I've always said I'm never going to tell you how to raise or manage your colonies. I'm showing you what I do. What I say is, if I'm going to be treating anyways, why do I need to kill a bunch of bees just for my knowledge of how many mites are in the colony? I know that I've got good colonies. I know that I've got low mite counts. There's still mites in there, and you're still going to treat, so I'm just going to treat them instead of killing 300 bees that I potentially could need, you know, on a bad winter. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to break these boxes off, and I'll pull a couple frames. So another thing I'll do while I'm going through these, when I'm breaking these boxes down, is I'm checking for weight on how heavy these boxes are. I'm a little concerned. I split this hive hard this year in the early spring, and the lower box hasn't recovered. I've got a few frames that aren't drawn out like that. Okay, there's not a ton of bees in here, which is fine. A couple of frames of brood, but this lower box isn't super full as I would like it. This upper box and this super have a ton of weight in them, have a ton of food in them. So she's going to lay depending on her cluster and how many bees and how much food she needs. And so I can look down in here and see that that's all capped honey. So that's good. I can also tell by the weight of the hive, the weight of the box. I know that thing's about 80 pounds or a little more. Plus there's another 50 on top, you know, 40 or 50 on top. So potentially for the rest of the year, they're going to be good. A lot of old bees. I see a lot of old bees in this colony. Old bees, you'll be able to tell because they're super black. They're not super hairy. And they're shiny looking. They're shiny looking bees. And I see them in there. And so not super worried, because I know that those older bees are going to be dying anyway. I don't see a bunch of little fat bees in there right now. So I'm going to drop in this Apivar. So the way I do it is, okay, obviously, this box is already off, and so I'm just going to take this strip of Apivar and I'm going to put one right down in there, and I just put a nail on the top of it like that, and we're going to put another one, let's call it over here. And so you just want to kind of nice and ease it down in there like that, just like that. And then we'll also do this lower box while I'm here. And so I'm going to keep these ones a little bit tighter because there's not a lot going on these outside frames. So there's one. And let's call it, here's one. I think that's where that brood frame was. So there's two in there. And then I cut these little half strips. And these little half strips are just going to go up in that medium. And I'm going to put these frames back. We're done. Move on to the next colony. Okay, so this worries me a little bit. So I can see open cells there. So I'm in the super, next hive over. This is the Colossus Hive, Colossus granddaughter. There is capped honey in the middle of it, but I want these frames to be almost full. So I know that I'm gonna need to put a little bit of food on them. So Same thing, crack the lid, move the boxes down, kind of assess the situation, put the Apivar in, button them back up. These bees are so laid back on the comb. This is one of my favorite colonies. This is my original Colossus. This is her granddaughter. And you see just how gentle they are on the comb. Really nice. Only 2 frames of brood down here. And they're just, one's right here and one's I've got out over there. But a little bit of drone brood right there. Great bees. Not a ton of honey down here. Decent amount in the upper boxes. They run a super small cluster. These are Caucasians, and Caucasians run a really, really small cluster. And so I'm not super worried about it. I might put a little bit of food on them, but nothing crazy. We're gonna get the Apivar on, move to the next hive. Oh, I've got a little Pro DFM here too that I've been sprinkling on the top of the frames when I'm putting them away. So just good for their guts. This is the trampoline swarm. If you guys remember that video, a few videos back this past spring. This is the trampoline swarm, looking down into their super. This whole super is full. I know that this whole super is full because this is all sugar water that I fed them in the very beginning of the year when I caught them. So I just left it. They can have this. I'm really interested in what's in these lower deeps. So let's break into them. So next deep. Not super concerned. I know that this frame is empty. I know that this frame is empty. The rest of them are full. The edge of this one has got a little bit on it that I can see, and maybe the outside of number 8, I guess it would be. But everything else is full. I can see down in there. I'll check the weight, set it down, get the Apivar on. Okay, everybody's good there. Again, they're still maybe a little light, but I'm not super worried about it. We're heading into the Nordman swarm, the wild hive. I don't remember. And I don't remember. Shoot, I don't remember what colonies those are. This was the Liberty Hive. That's a Liberty Hive granddaughter. And I don't remember. This is the damn hive that swarmed on me, that flew right across that field that I watched fly off. So, go through these guys and get all the stuff on them to check weights and get Apivar on. This is a Nordman swarm. Big old full box of bees there. Full box of bees there. That box is heavy. Middle one, the top one, the little super's got quite a bit of weight to it. That's a heavy box. I didn't lift this one. You can see how wide they've got these frames drawn out of here. I might pull one just to see how their honey stores are on the outside here. There's a lot of damn bees in here, Italians. Apivar's in. Might as well grab these and drop 2 of them down in here also. So when I put this stuff in, I'll kind of stagger it a little bit, but I try to keep it where the brood's at. You know that the brood's going to be fairly close to the middle right now because they should be building the outsides. Whoops. Oh, they're cranky. Everyone else has been really cool today. These guys are a little hot. Not bad. You know the brood's going to be fairly close to the middle because they always build their honey from the outside in, right? So I'll pull one of these frames, just take a look at it real quick, just one of these side frames, see how they're doing. And they're done. Little concerned about them. A lot of bees in there. Boxes aren't super heavy. And there's just no forage out right now. So I'm probably going to have to get some food on them pretty quick to keep them in mind. On to the wild hive, another one of my favorites. Apivar's on. I just put it on before I stripped this box off. So little concerning. I can see honey in some spots, but I see a bit of empty space in here too. So little concerned about that. I know that this frame right here is empty. And I know the backside of this is fairly empty, but I do see other frames in here that are very full. So I'm going to crack it off here, check the weight, and keep going. A little weight, not a lot of weight, but I mean more than a half full super. Just leave it. But look at here, lots of bees. And if you guys can see down in there, just a ton of honey. Like, that's really what you want to see. This is going to be a heavy box when I pull it off, I know it. These guys propolize like you wouldn't believe. I mean, if any of my hives propolize, these ones do the most. But as soon as I lifted that box off, it just reeks of brood. So in the beginning I was talking about old bees, and I just saw one in here. You really tell you're old bees because they're super shiny. Let's see if I can find one. No, I'm not going to pull any frames. I know that this hive is good. They've got a ton of bees in there. And a ton of honey. Heavy box. Great bees. This is such a great colony. My thing says phone is getting warm. Maybe because I had it sitting out the sun. I don't know. Anyway, still on this hive of this wild hive of Caucasians here. Such a great colony. Like, that's an old bee right there. See how she's the tip of my hive tool. See, she's shiny right here on her crown. Okay, right? So, yeah, this colony's rocking. These great cold weather bees. All right, let's get on to the other girls. These two have feeders on, so I'm gonna have to be quick with them so that the rest of the bees don't smell that food in there. Okay, I had to move fast through those because there's still syrup in there, but they're all good. I know it's kind of a funky setup. It's just the way that it happened. This super I gave to them a couple of years ago. And it's just theirs. They just lay in it. I don't care. So a medium, one deep, two mediums, and these things are just packed full. So really what I'm looking for, great honey on the sides, and still brooding. So that's good. Onto these guys and we're done. We're going to go up to the north yard because I still got to do Big Blue. Ooh, a lot of syrup on them still. They're not taking it quite as fast as those girls are. But I love these top hive feeders. They're my favorite feeders because you can open them up, dump in your syrup. Obviously, bees can't get out, and they sometimes will get into, push in through the gate there. But anyway, same thing. I got to work quick before these damn hornets and other bees smell the food. So once these guys are done here, I'm probably going to be done feeding them. Probably move some feeders over for the other bees. But we're going to take this off, get the Apivar on. So this is a deep and a western is what this colony's in. And I did that just because there's a new queen this year. Brand new colony. So look at, they already found it, these damn bees. Get out of here. All right, gotta go. So what I mean about the robbing, they'll smell this food so fast, and these bees, they'll just sniff it out. It's unbelievable how fast they find it. They can't get in there in those cracks, and hopefully this is a big enough colony that they can fight people off. But as soon as those bees smell that syrup, man, they're on it. So these guys will be done when they finish up this syrup. I'll probably move that over to these guys, or no, actually probably over to this Nordman swarm. I need to beef them up a little bit. They're light. Okay, heading to the north yard. Gotta go do Big Blue, and then I believe we're done for this round of Apivar. So let's go up to the north yard. I'll give you guys a quick rundown there. All right, out at the north yard, I actually need to move these girls home. That just reeks of brood. I can smell brood here. They're really pretty bees. They've got a lot of silver. Like, there's some yellow bees in there, but a lot of silver and grays. I just see them landing in there. They're really pretty bees. Gonna move them home. Let them overwinter at the house, I think. Get them out of the field right there. Everyone else seems to be doing good. There's the Russians. This hive needs fed. There's not a lot going on in there. I forgot to bring food with me. I've actually got it sitting on the stove at home. These guys have a feeder on them. New queen in there. Look at how these girls are propylizing this entrance shut right there. You see that? They don't like it. They don't like it that wide. They're really going to close up for the winter time. Everybody here has Apivar on them. These guys are working really hard. That's the, that is that the trampoline swarm? Either that or the plum tree swarm. I don't remember. What's going on here? This stupid thing, I put a new entrance reducer in there, but it doesn't seem to be working. So I see it's all wowed out. I'm gonna go, I got a different one with me. I'll go put in there. This little hive I kept, that was a little nuke that I held on to. Oh, that was the nuke I was using for a resource hive that requeened themselves and have built into this great little colony of bees, double deeps, and busy, damn busy. So there's Big Blue. We're gonna treat her. I do have 2 supers on there. I saved 1 super. I know that upper one's full. I'm gonna save it for anybody else who might need some extra stores. We've got the Pacific Northwest Carnies. They're doing good. And the Cordovans also have a feeder on them, and I need to, actually I'm going to look in there to make sure that no one's gotten up into that feeder, but I need to refeed them as well. Cordovans are doing good. So we're going to get the Apivar and just go through Big Blue real quick and get some Apivar on there, because I don't think I treated simply because there was an extra super on there. So busy. Still a busy yard. We still have knapweed around. Lots of clover out front. Actually, this yard's actually doing better now than it was previously. The south yard was just rocking earlier, and now is not, and it's just opposite now. This yard's doing great. So alfalfa clear over there in the distance. Over there, that's all alfalfa. Hay just got cut around here, but then a ton of alfalfa clear out front, 300 acres of it that's just now going to bloom. So that'll be good for these girls pulling in their final haul for the year. So grab the Apivar and get it on Big Blue. Okay, last one for the day. Cracking open Big Blue. Lots of bees. There's lots of bees in there. Same thing, we just give this a thump. Get all those bees off there. Pretty full honey up top. And pull this box. This is, so it's 2 deeps, a western, and a medium. I know that there's a lot of this is full. So let me just pull this real quick and we'll get into it. So top one's off, looks good. Quite a bit of honey in there. I'd say like 70%. It's looking good. This western is great. I can see the whole way down there, just totally capped frames down in there. So gonna get down, see what the rest of it looks like, but decent stores on Big Blue. Into the deeps, lots of honey, lots of bees. I'm going to scrape all of this comb off the top. And man, it just reeks of brood. I can just smell the brood, and they're really heavy. Big hives like this, you got to treat, because those are your mite bombs. I mean, it's no different than COVID or, you know, anything else where any other disease. You know, if you have a large population, you're going to have more disease in the population, or the potential of, depending on how the population is. And so this is where I kind of I don't get political by any means, but it's just the science behind it. If you have a larger population of animals, people, whatever, you're just going to have higher potential disease rate. And so that's why I say bigger colonies have the potential of having more mites in them, obviously, because it's more bees. So I'm going to pop this deep off, get down to the lower, and start setting my Apivar. So this is my lower box. Not a ton going on down here. I mean, a lot of bees in here, but it's, I think, primarily just brood and honey. I can see empty frames clear to the top. I'm not super worried about it, just because they need the room. But everything else is full, 3 other boxes, so I'll probably just let them have those extra boxes because this colony is so big. And going to get the other Apivar, actually, I'll just take it right now. So I've got those 2 a little bit spaced out. This I'm going to take and insert where I think the brood is going to be. Brood is going to be typically right around the inside frames. So there's one. And you can kind of tell where the bees are. See how the bees are all piled up right here? I'll probably just take and put one right here. Just like that. Got 2 more boxes to do. Double Apivar in those and call them good. That Western is a heavy box. Dang. It's heavy. A lot of honey. So I put those last ones in the middle. I'm going to kind of skirt these other ones kind of to the outside here. Maybe here and there. And then I'll kind of stagger the other ones. Grab them. And just going to drop them in. And again, all these hives will get treated at the same time as like the other ones when I run oxalic acid on them. So Apivar is all in and we're done. Get these guys closed up. It's cool out. They don't like being opened anymore and I like keeping them open. So that's what I got for today. Just treating hives, getting ready for fall to hit us. Seems like it's going to be early this year, and I have a feeling it's going to be a hell of a winter this year also. So I got Tim. My phone is telling me that my battery's going to run out soon. So Post Falls Honey Company here in beautiful, yet still smoky, North Idaho. Thanks for watching, guys.